Hey, I'm Mission Church. This is Andrew with the Reach Company. In this tutorial, we're going to get an overview of how to edit pages, both on the back end, editing the details of the page, and on the front end, using the page builder. I want to break down how each page is kind of made, and we are going to hit on a few things that are specific to your site that you'll also want to be able to update on a consistent basis. So when you log into your website, you'll see this admin toolbar all the way across the top. Most of these pieces are pretty self-explanatory. We talked about Customizer when we talked about our dashboard. We talked about WP Rocket, which is our cache plugin as well to clear this whenever you make changes. And you'll recognize a few of these are self-explanatory: events, forms, etc. New. And so I want to begin by looking at the back end of this page. This is your home page. And so to go to the back end, I'm going to click Edit Page. And we're going to go over some of the basics that you'll need to do for any pages that you create. The first is obviously a title. So you give your page a title. You'll see permalink right here. So this is the web address for that page. This is your home page, but if it was another page on the interior of the website, like if it was about, it would say onmissionchurch.org/about, and you can edit this little tag on the interior pages, but you can't do it from the home page, excuse me. If we scroll down a little bit, you'll see text editor versus page builder. You're using our page builder. If you click on text editor, it just kind of messes the page up, and you'll get a warning about it too. I would recommend staying with the page builder unless you're good with HTML. So we would launch our page builder to get back to the page builder area. We'll do that in a second. The third thing here is SEO, which is search engine optimization. On every page on your site, you can go in and give that page a custom name that Google will see, that Facebook sees. When you share a page, you can give it a custom page description. You shouldn't have to mess with any of the visibility here. Every page on your site should be able to be seen by Google. You don't have any pages that it doesn't need to see or doesn't need to index. And then social here, if you want to, you can select a custom social image for this page. So your site as a whole has an image that when a page is shared, it's what Facebook sees or Twitter, etc., sees on social media. The images that you see when people share links, that's what this is basically. And so you can assign your own image right here by clicking Change Image. So that's for this side. Let's scroll over to this side. Up here, this is pretty self-explanatory. The status is published. It is public for people to see. It's gone through a few revisions. It's gone through a lot more revisions than that. I've cleared out a bunch of revisions because when you have hundreds of revisions, it slows down the site. You can clear the cache directly from right here. Page attributes. This is a home page. It doesn't have a parent. As you can see the hierarchy of your pages when you click on that. It's using the default template. Later on, if you decide you want to do like a landing page for your Easter service, you could do no header, no footer, which is the top menu area and the bottom area. And selecting that I like using this option to make landing pages for events and the like. You have the caching options. You shouldn't have to worry about any of this stuff right here. And then the featured image. This is kind of a backdrop for the custom social image URL. If for whatever reason this doesn't fire, this will show as well. I recommend always setting a featured image. And I also recommend always setting some type of image URL right here. The reason being, things are always changing on the internet, and we always want to make sure that something is being seen image-wise. And so it's best to have this in a few places so that it's covered and you're not just left with a weird-looking link when you share it on Facebook. And if you make any changes back here, just always remember to click Update, and you should be good to go. We didn't make any changes. We're just going to go back to launch the page builder. And this is going to take us back to the front end. And you'll see this little bar come up at the top. There's some options over here that you really shouldn't have to worry about, but you can play around with. For example, maybe you know how like the Bible app has the bright or the dark kind of reading. Well, they have it here too. You can change the contrast, the brightness of the user interface here. It's a little easier on the eyes if you're working at night, for example. Um, you can, if you mess up, you can check your revisions right here. Shouldn't have to mess with any of the CSS or JavaScript. That's more me, and I don't think I have any saved in the page builder itself anyway, so you couldn't break it if you tried. Global settings, those are kind of a non-issue for you guys since this is a custom site. Over here, we have this plus icon, and what this does is it brings up what are called modules. I'm going to get to that in a second because if I click on this without explaining how the page works, it'll create some confusion. And then when you finish editing anything, you just click done and publish, or you discard it, or if you want to come back later, you can save it as a draft. I'm going to click cancel for now. So I want to explain the way that this works. So basically, our page builder is like a box inside of a box inside of a box. You have modules, and then you have columns. You see how the whole thing here is highlighted now. And then you have rows up here. So you have modules inside of columns, inside of rows, boxes inside of boxes inside of boxes. And I'm going to start by editing the modules first. And basically everything here is just click and edit. So if I want to edit the words here to say on mission, I just click on it and I type the words I want it to say, and that's basically it. It's point and click for the page builder you guys are using. There are a bunch of options that you can work through. I suggest that if you want to add pages later on yourself, that you just create a test page. It's one of those things that's fun to play around with. But just like anything, there's a little bit of a learning curve no matter how simple something is. And so you can play around with the settings here, but most everything on your site is going to already be in place, and you might just need to update some of the language, some of the verbiage. And so if we make edits, we click save. Same for the home here. If I wanted to edit it, I just click home, and then I can change the title. On the button, it's the same. Maybe instead of visit us, you want to go to another page, you just click on it. You change the language here, and then you change the link. And you can type in the link yourself, or you can select it from the pages that are on your website. I'm going to go ahead and click save there. So that's how this page builder works. I'm going to go back to rows up here. Now, we don't have to mess with any of the columns right here, but I'm going to show you on rows the different kinds of settings that you guys are able to work with. And I'm going to start with the backgrounds. So there are a few background options that rows have. This one is using the slideshow option. If you guys want to change your pictures for this later on, maybe you get different pictures, you just click on the row, and then you come to edit gallery, and this will pull up some of the pictures that are in here. And if you want to add to the gallery, you can go to your media library, or you can upload files right here. We're not going to do that. Well, it's a bug, but we can fix it. Sorry about that. All right, so there are other types of backgrounds as well. You have video background. Maybe you have a video of a worship service that you want to put here. Photo, just like a still photo, you can use that as well. Any options that you want to use for a background, they're all right here. And then when you finish, always click save. If I scroll down, this is an example of a row that is a global row. You'll notice that like this one right here is in blue. But I'll scroll down here, and this one's in orange. Orange is the way to tell you that this row is something that's consistent all the way across your site. So any place that I have this weekend, you know, your service times and your directions, whenever I edit it here, it edits it all the way across the site. I think you guys have it on your events page and your visit us page. I'm going to scroll down a little more. This is an example of a row that has a photo background. Yeah. So background type photo. I didn't mean to click video. My bad. And then you can edit or replace the photos that you guys have here and save that. Again, here this is an example of a module that has that's global. This is also in your footer down here. So whenever you edit this, if you have a reason to, it edits it all the way across the site. And again, all of these are just click and edit. This right here is a content grid, and it shows some of the pertinent areas of your church. And again, you can go through these settings. We've customized it for you, so you really shouldn't have to, but I like for everybody to know how it works. For example, if you wanted to add another page to this, you would click on it and then come to content, and then just type in the page that you wanted to add to this little carousel area, and save it. Last thing on the home page down here is this is a hidden row. I know you guys, at the time of making this video, you guys haven't integrated media or video messages yet, and so I have this built, and it's hidden unless you're logged in. And when you log into the site, you can see it, and I'll show you where that is real quick. So you click row settings, you go to advanced, and it is only visible to a logged in user. You shouldn't have to really mess with any of this either. And that's the overview of how a page builder works itself. Now over here, say you wanted to add something. I'm going to go ahead and save this real quick. And I'm going to click back on the page builder. So you hover over page builder, you click on mission. Over here you have a list of the different modules that are available to you, and they are organized as such. And there's a lot of them because there's a lot of things that websites can do, and it's fun to play around with some of these. Like I said, if you have a media guy that wants to take your site even to the next level, he can play around with these and learn how to use them. They're really intuitive and really simple to use. So these are all the standard modules. Then we have some add-on modules with which expands the capability of the page builder even more. Probably by the time it gets to you, I will have taken away some of these that just don't make sense to have on a church website. So no worries there. I understand that seeing all these modules can be a little overwhelming, but like I said, if you create a page and just begin playing around, one, it's fun. Two, it's intuitive, and three, if you play around with it for a little bit, it's not nearly as intimidating. The other thing here that's important is the saved area. So I have some saved rows and some saved modules for you guys already. Your background across the whole site is this dark color, and so I created a row that's just a dark row. And so when you move it somewhere, it comes up as a dark row. And you can see the boxes inside of boxes right there. Also created a cover area. So if you make a new page for something, your cover area is already saved here. So this is a cover area that's consistent all across your site. Obviously, you're not using stock photography. But if you're making a new page, you just drag in the cover area and you change the background. You change the background like to another picture that you're already using. Like I just updated the team page, so I'm going to select that photo and I'm going to save the background. And then I update the title of the page to what I want it to see like our team, and then I save it. I also have Oh, here's the this weekend row, by the way. Let me go ahead and delete it. A few other things I have saved is a form template. So it keeps the way your forms look all across your site continuous without having to edit it every time. Your email capture, say there's a web page where you want to add another way to capture the weekly email button, you just drag that into here. And here, if I want to put that below our team, so it's just drag and drop. And then you have a few other buttons as well. I have a blue button, pretty simply named, right? And this is based off the button at the top of the page, and it's the same kind of button format I use throughout the site. And then we have a gray button. Same principle. Yep. And that is an overview of how to work on this page using the page builder. I'm going to click done up here, and I'm going to click discard because I don't want to save any of these changes. If you were saving changes, obviously you'd click publish. But we're going to get rid of these and start on our next video.